Good morning, everyone, and we are continuing here in the beautiful words of the Beis HaLevi on AHAVAS YISRAEL, and we're moving now to the chapter Beis number 2, AHAVAS HaGer, to love a convert. Ubeger, when it comes to a convert, kafal akasav oid mitzvahs aseh. The pasuk in the Torah gives us another positive commandment to fulfill in the realm of v'yafta l'recha kamocha. And that is v'yahavtam es hager. You should love the convert. Now, really, the question that he's bringing up is that we already have a mitzvah v'yafta l'recha kamocha. You have to love your fellow Jew the way that you love yourself. And if somebody converts to Judaism, they're becoming a Jew just like you. And therefore, that mitzvah is applicable to them. V'yafta l'recha kamocha. You must love your fellow Jew the way you love yourself, whether it is a Jew from birth, whether it is someone that was Megayer that converted. The mitzvah applies to all those that fall into the realm of Klal Yisrael. And yet the Torah writes over here, V'yaftam es hager, there's an additional mitzvah that you have when it comes to dealing with a ger, and that is you must show your love to the ger. And the question that we're going to have to deal with is why? Why did the Torah give us a second mitzvah of ava, of love, that we must express and we must show to the ger? What is the message that the Torah is trying to teach us? V'nimsa, we find as well, beger avibeis mitzvahs aseh. There are two positive commandments by the ger. Like we said, one is v'yafta l'recha kamocha, and the other one is v'yafta es hager. You have to love them. Like the Rambam himself writes in the 6th chapter of Hilchos Deos, his famous work on how a person is going to be replete with all of the greatest of the midas, the greatest character traits, and live the life the way that HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants us to. So this is our discussion, that it's not enough, seemingly the Torah says, just to fulfill the mitzvah of v'yafta l'recha kamocha. There's an additional mitzvah that a person must fulfill of AHAVAS es hager. That ger must know how much you love them, how much you care about them, how much you respect them, how much you accept them completely and fully into Klal Yisrael, into our nation. Now, one of the reasons is the following idea. And the Sefer HaChinuch explains, as others explain, that a person that is coming from the outside into our nation, amongst the people, there's always a little bit of a feeling that newcomer has, that perhaps he feels he doesn't fully belong. He feels a little bit anxious, a little bit nervous, a little bit perhaps different than everybody else that is in the room, that is in the shul. They might look different, they might act differently, their havara, the way they pronounce the words, might be differently, their families might be different, and therefore there is an anxiety, a nervousness, perhaps a tension even, that a ger, that a convert is going to have when they're entering into the world of Klal Yisrael. When they come to shul for that first time, and the little children in the shul might look because they see that there's something different. When they go to somebody's house for a meal, and they may feel a little bit uncomfortable because they didn't grow up in a Jewish and a Yiddish house. They're not familiar with all of the customs and the way in which everything works. And therefore, when someone's coming from the outside and entering into our nation, it is extremely important that you show them extra love, extra respect, extra embracing of who they are. When you recognize what it is that this person has done in their life to enter in, to become a member of Klal Yisrael, how much they had to give up, how much they had to change, how much they had to turn their lives around to become a Jew, to forgo the pleasures and the lifestyle that they had when they were not Jewish, to forgo family members, to forgo a life, to forgo their pleasures and the like, to get rid of all of that in order to become one of us. This person is a hero. This person is a noble royal member of Klal Yisrael. They're an inspiration and they're a role model of if a person believes in HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and they believe in the Torah, and they believe in the mitzvahs, look what you could accomplish. You could turn your entire life around. That's something that deserves an enormous amount of respect from each and every Jew. And since that when the Ger walks into Shul, and he walks into the Shabbos meal, and he walks in to Klal Yisrael, it's likely that there's going to be a bit of anxiety and tension that accompanies him or her. It's likely that there's going to be a bit of nervousness and maybe guessing themselves a second time and a second time. Therefore, V'haftam es hager, the Torah says, you show the ger how much you actually love them, how much you respect them, how much you admire their nisyonos, their challenges that they must have gone through to get to this point that they are 100% a kosher Jew just like you are. Imagine what they had to give up in their lives to become a member of Klal Yisrael. It's revolutionary. It is legendary. And they deserve an enormous amount of respect, and the Torah says an enormous amount of ava as a result. And therefore, v'afta l'recha kamecha, not enough. Of course, they fall into that category. They're a Jew, but because they need extra TLC, you, the Jew, is obligated, v'aftam es hager, to embrace and to love and to cherish and to respect and to look up to and admire the ger who has made one of the biggest, most powerful, impactful decisions that a person could possibly make in their life. Have a wonderful day.